Mm, mm. Yes, yes, yes. How are you tonight? Kind of take it easy tonight. We're gonna get into it though. Patricia, welcome. Patricia, help me out. You hear an echo? Let me know. Give me a one if you can hear me. California, Carlos. Can you hear me? Give me a one if you can hear me. I'm getting this thing all set back up so we can do this. All right. You know, we're gonna start a little different tonight. I'm gonna read some from my novel. I've changed so much. And if you're following me on TikTok, you know I've been sharing it with everybody. In fact, I'll be right back. I'm gonna put this music up and let it play for a while. Be right back, just a second. We're gonna do a few things different. My son, he's been my rock. He made brownies tonight. This guy's still around, David. What a con. Oh, we got it. What a con. What a jerk. Jerk. Anyway, can you hear me all right? Is the music too loud, Patricia? Yes, I was. I was the war drummer. I'm embarrassed. I'll tell you that right now. You know, people have been there for me at my worst. And it's God's people that have been. And that's awesome. Thank you. I'm going to try this brownie here really quick. And we're going to get into the word. I'm going to actually read from my novel first. And we'll and the war drummer. I am the war drummer. You mean was I? Were you? I am the war drummer. What are you talking about? Were. What? What? Come on. Man. Oh yeah, Patricia. Well, I am embarrassed over cereal brain in the like. You know what embarrasses me the most? It's not cereal brain. It's how I handled it. I should have. You see, Jeffrey says same here. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, the guy was not. Christians followed after that guy. But anyway, it's a lady, actually. It's a lady, guys. People, it's a lady. But War Drummer is banned. That name has caused me so much trouble on here, so we just made it the Deacon. We've changed it several times. Didn't matter. When I stopped reading Cereal Brain, I had to make a calculation because I knew I was going to lose everybody. So I have a 1% rule on everything. So I figured, something like this. I'm not going to read this stuff anymore. He's lying to people. He's destroying, or she. At the time, I thought it was he. Destroying so much. And then when I find out that this person is Canadian, I'm like, mother. And so, yeah, I've got all the damning evidence of that guy. I've got emails. I've kept everything. And even, yeah. What's going on here? Carlos Oblebu. Boo. PSYOPs. Yeah, Grant. PSYOPs. Yes. I don't want to be part of that. Man, they tried to set me up to be part of January 6th. No way. They were actively, like, I caught them. They were called. They were trying to set me up. No way. Not Cereal Brain, but the government. I mean, to get us there on January 6th. I got something for you. I got secrets, man. I got secret. I'm in there. I'm in there with some of these folks that you guys love and listen to. When they call me a con, that's just, if you only knew the stuff I knew about everybody in that genre at that time. I got out when I had a chance. Being set up. Awesome, Jeffrey. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. So we got about 9 people in here. I'll give it a few more minutes. I'm going to finish this brownie, and then I'm going to read. I want to read this to you because I'm feeling so good about it for the first time. It's been over 10 years since I finished this novel, but yet I have rewritten, trying to get it because nobody's interested in it. But I think I might have something now, and I want to share it with you. And then we'll look at the word. So if you like those serial brain readings, and some of those were some of that stuff was my stuff. I didn't always do serial brain. And you can search on this channel, and you'll see all the like I did full, like what I would call for my little bedroom studio guy self, like films, like the Highway to Hell series. What was it? Something Warlock? I'm just so far from that. I can't even remember. It was a crazy time, very crazy time, and I do appreciate. I mean, that's why I'm a novelist. I've got so much in me from stuff that actually happens to me. And so my imagination really can go to town. And I hope you'll listen. Monster Moshe! Hey, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. You remember when you called in and I talked to you on the phone, Monster? Man, I got the novel. You need to hear me read. Yeah. I love Jeffrey talking about cereal brain. And he uses her. That's hilarious. Let's see if I can pop this out of here so people can see it on the screen because it is good. Let's see. Live chat. All right, and then we're gonna go pop out. And then we're gonna go right here. Then once we start in the word, I can hide those because we don't want to see those while we're studying the Bible. But there you go. Look at how easy that was. Easy. All right, so you'll see yourself and you'll see me block you if you get nasty. I'm almost done with this brownie, so just give me a second. Is this blocking? No. Monster Moshi says, yes, sir, I did call you. Yes, sir. Man, I got the novel, man. I got the novel, Mississippi, 1964, during Freedom Summer about the KKK. I got it. And now it's almost done. Sorry, meeting, but come on. Ain't nothing professional about me anymore, okay? I'm not trying to put on anything here. It's just you and I. The camera and I. And all of you. All of you. All right, I'm done. So, is the microphone okay? Oh, Jeffrey, yeah. Oh, I love Mississippi Gulf Coast. I will come to you. I love it out there. A brownie, monster. Yeah. My son, monster. My wife left me, abandoned my son and I. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jeffrey Marion. I've been in hell. That's why I haven't been on. Couldn't go on. Okay. So I'm going to read this to you. See if I can get a different tune up here because I just won't play a tune. I don't need to play any music. All right. So I'm not going to explain anything to you. So I want to know if it makes sense to you, and I want to know if you like it. I'm listen. As Christians, we are called to expose evil. We are called to be light in the darkness and expose evil. And this is my magnus opus of my life. That this is the single greatest thing that I hope to leave when I die. This is like my childhood, my mental, everything. I am encapsulated in here, and there is much racism in here. But I grew up around Mississippi and around very hateful people. And if I'm gonna talk about them, and if I have them talk, I'm not gonna have them talk like me. I'm gonna have them talk like them to reveal their hearts. We offend the mind to reveal the heart. And in this story, I try to get the reader to question themselves. So here we go. All right, hey, Jeffrey, you will know all of these places, bro, if you're right there. Listen to this, Jeffrey. This is exciting. You will know if you're in Mississippi. All right, you ready? You ready? Here you go. Um, you know, I do. I don't like self promotion like that. You know, I don't want to do that. I want you to get off here because we're not going to do that. Not going to do it. All right, you ready, Jeffrey? All right, Patricia. Patricia, you're now a moderator. So if you want to learn how to do it, you can do it. But all you got to do is click on those things, and you can block people and get them out of here if they got a problem. And don't be too sensitive. It's just self promotion, all that stuff. We're not going to do that. See how that looks? See how that looks on the screen right there? Right there? See that? See that? Stony News? It's just I get it. I get what you're trying to do, and that's just not what if I was still like I was, we would talk first. And it would be okay, but we're not gonna do that. Not on my channel. Sorry. So you ready? Are we ready? Jeffrey. Jeffrey. You're now moderator. Norman, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Cool. Check this out. So this is the. I want to read the first few paragraphs of my novel, and you know, it's a pretty short chapter. Hey, Como. It's a short chapter, so I might read the whole thing. Anyway, you ready? Ready? Here we go. All right, Jeffrey. 1. Oh wait, I got to do it with the title. Hold on, because I changed the title. All right, new title. Everything. The Ways of Water. Sleep Swimming. 1. Pearl River County, 1964. Murder lives there, in the water, beneath the boiling Mississippi sun, in a place as hot as hell itself, right there on the border, close enough you could spit on Louisiana. Carrier, Mississippi. It's where the dragon hides. And if you're there, and if there ever was a case of absolute wickedness intersecting with insanity, a town teeters on the precipice of a reckoning. Dirt the color of lava and hotter than hell itself, like swimming in a river of fire, wet and all sweaty all the time. And for those on Old West Union Road, the fiery heat drove them to the water, drove them to the Pearl River, to Mill Creek, to Little Creek, Price Creek, and Bowley Creek. And some it drove right into the service of the one they called the Dragon. The scorching crucible of the sun blaring down, relentless, driving everyone to the water and to the lust and love without a dollar or a dime for anything. Poor as dirt. The hardest kind of sensuality, a leathery, toothless, tobacco-stained mouth says, deep and raspy, he knows them, and he controls the demons. He was a snake once, green like in the white of fire at its hottest. The dragon knows, in fact, like the back of his hands, that desire is like a river, always wanting to run away and never come back, to be wild and be free. But she won't be, and she never will be. Be free, that is. This is how he controls them, you see, how he has become untouchable. He knows to understand the motivations of a murderer. You've got to be on the run, and most just don't have it in them, so they ain't going nowhere. They are his. He's got his claws in all levels of society here, and that includes the law. And if you think you can outrun him, he'd love for you to try. He will catch you. The river and her byways feeds the cravings of those one might call the backwoods people. The Pearl River, her creeks and feeders make up an intricate system of moving goods. It's the safest way in and the safest way out for anything you might want to hide from the law, whether it's dirt cheap, soot-covered baby formula that never made it to Hudson's, a case of 90 proof Jack, or the cleanest nose candy this side of New Orleans. Or maybe guns. And since the county is dry, liquor, or maybe a bar, a cat house, or dumping a body. Whatever. Where the old wooden bridge crosses Little Hell, then circles back to Bowley Creek on Highway 11. It'll all wind up in the Pearl. It's the perfect place. That is, until now. You still want to run? Know this. You can't outrun the dragon. It's like running from a swarm of relentless hornets. That river is salvation. The only way to break free. a great wall of impenetrable barrier of emptiness and desperation, the Pearl River, keeping the trash in or out, depending on what side you're on and how you look at things. It's a gate of sorts. Is this why they named that river Pearl? Maybe. Maybe it's 'cause of how she looks in the moonlight from a distance. Her waters, tea-brown and russet, coalescing in ethereal visage of the blue-white light of the Mississippi moon. The results is a gleaming alabaster. Pearl. The Pearl River, meandering there, soft and slow, sparkling. A gate to freedom is a gate to heaven, a pearly gate. Boundaries that meant life or death. For so many, a pearly gate. Boundaries that have meant life and death for so many, both white and black. The great divide between two states, a state of mind or the state of Mississippi. The Pearl River is salvation. Natural and legally recognized boundary between these parts and Louisiana, between hell and paradise, keeping the dragon in or out depending on what side you're on and who you're running from. You've got to be on the run to truly grasp the motivations of a murderer. If you're running in the north, high up in those hills at night, she'll guide you home. A gleaming strand of pearls lassoing the moonbeams, drawing the eye away from those who couldn't give a damn. And that one is true. Most just don't give a damn. From the hate-mongering bigot or the 60s Jesus freak, it doesn't matter. They do whatever they want and get away with it. Call them bastards if you want. In the insufferable, boiling misery and violence, questions ooze from an illusion that feasts on something no one can really put their finger on. A cannibal side to this is undeniable. It's like a goddamn family picnic. The discards are on the grill about to be eaten, and amidst the fetid, burning flesh of children and what they need and want, and them wishing they'd never been born in such a godforsaken place, in the agony, someone's bound to ask, where do these monsters come from? Then, with the furrowed brow of uncertainty, the toothless hookworm's issuance of depravity must and always will answer to the contrary, casting accountability as far away as possible, out of sight, out of mind, always just blaming on the devil. They say, well, there's a dragon in Mississippi, even a cyclops, along with ghouls and the like. There are murmurings all over Mississippi, here and there, a she said kind of thing. There always is and there always will be. Wives suspicious of their husbands, parents of their children. If you ain't working for the dragon, then what are you getting from him? They were the ones they wished were dead. That somehow these creatures squirmed out of the mud, out of the river, out of the bayou. The delusion that I'm not like them, like that trash. Trash is as trash does. A spade is a spade, walks like death, talks like fire. That trash is spit out just as nasty and full of piss as anybody else. Enraged, pride bruised, and just a little bloody. They never give up. To some, the Pearl River is the only hope. To others, she is damnation. But no matter. The closer you get to Louisiana, one thing is for sure. If you're running and you see her, you're standing in her. So many mouths open to her. Mouths of the soft underbellies raised in the waterways that feed desperation and his twin addiction. And in the patient, long-suffering, there, burrowing under the surface, is rebellion. So the water branches. And in the confluence, the one becomes two. She has fed them and will always be their supply. Where the flesh is drawn and the spirit is weak, it goes. The path of least resistance. These are the ways of water. She honors them, and she must. She is, as in the truest sense of this word, the tributary. She is liable to tribute. She feeds them and will keep the supply and flow as long as, in the separation, all the requirements of the deal are met. If she is shortchanged, her supply will cease. And as their lives and names were given in tribute, cutting them off will be just as easy. These are the ways of water. Her tributaries all have their own set of guidelines, and the dragon knows this. As long as Mill Creek is producing, her flow will never end. The same goes for Luton Branch and the George Branch. However, when a branch produces a feeder, confusion comes, and a branch named Hobalota Cheeto did just that. The dragon convinced a white man to call the branch Bowley Creek, so the feeders came: Long Branch, Kennedy Branch, even Price Creek. And the dragon's favorite, Little Hell Creek. If you're running at low tide, the Pearl River is easily crossable. If you can make it, you're home free, for a while at least. And depending on how eager any given officer at any given time feels strong enough about including himself in the lynching party, in most cases, as long as you keep your ass out of there, you are free, white or black. That's why you always heard Uncle Randy can never go back to Alabama, or he can't even lead the county because as soon as he does, they're going to throw his ass in jail. Not the dragon, though. He runs this town. He's got his claws, again, in all levels of society here, and that includes the law. To say the law here is lazy wouldn't exactly be correct. It may just be more sensible. Extradition takes time and money, so they'd usually chase a man as far as the Pearl, then let him go. In their minds and in their way, most things are called off and discussed on a front porch over coffee or a beer. They'd say, "Now why in the hell would we want to pay to have that trash delivered back to us? Besides, there's more room for them down at Angola." So the running paid off. They took a chance, and here they are. They have arrived, but sometimes they don't make it. A young boy digging in the sand right near where Bowley joins the Pearl, there in Picayune, finds a finger sticking out of the sand, and soon after the body attached. The creek in that area had never been cleaned, so the stench wasn't noticeable. And no one swims there anymore anyway. It'd been rolling on the bottom for about 2 weeks when it finally washed ashore, and by the looks of it, one would suspect it washed up on the wrong side. Quite a bit of flesh was left on the thing, and had it not been for the trauma wounds, they'd have gotten an ID real quick, but they couldn't. And they didn't. And with no missing persons report to match identifying the victim in 1964 will prove challenging. Coincidence would interfere as he always does, and according to the report, discovery occurred near the end of low tide. From the time the boy stomped the shovel and it came back, as he put it, all black and purple like jelly, they had approximately 6 hours and 6 minutes before that very spot would be wiped clean by nature herself. Evidence was found and pictures were taken. Not a name, an address, or an ounce of anything to link them back to anyone. And being black, the fear of ending up in the same condition as this fool nearly makes identification impossible. One look at the autopsy report, and anybody with any sense would see only a monster could have done this. Dental records were of no help due to the job done on the victim's face. Swollen and unrecognizable. A male, black, maybe 16 or 17. Most of his teeth are missing. The jaw is broken in several places. Both eye sockets are crushed. All extremities suffered multiple breaks and fractured. Where do these monsters come from? Right here. High-impact blunt force trauma, the kind seen in plane crashes and high-speed automobile accidents. Sorry. That's exactly how the autopsy put it. Nothing can destroy a face like that. At least not naturally. The only creatures capable of such horror are those whose names it is believed should never be spoken in order to blot out such a scourge from the land of the living. That's what most think. But that would leave our victim begging for vengeance, and no one wants that. So say the names and live. And to the squeamish, understand and beware of the unspeakable bloodthirsty gore that can come out of this kind. Investigating such things can scar your mind forever, and you'll see death every time you close your eyes. So be careful. Besides, you may resurrect these devils from the dead if you're not careful, and no one wants that either. If you've got nerves of steel, and I mean nerves of steel, and have the stomach for it, say their names. Conjure their demons. Look at the serpent and live. Man must face the evil he makes, and he will. But do it only when you are alone, and only when it is dark. This is how. They bashed that boy's skull in. With every boot stomp and its corresponding jagged fractures lay the very manifestation in human form of a brutal, obsessive rage burrowed deep in the fringes between possessed monster and maniac. They couldn't stop themselves. The boy was unrecognizable. Now ask the one simple question that will unravel all of this. Whisper it, in fact. Where do monsters come from? Are they born or made? Created by chance? Or spawned by gods? Or just animals driven and steered, shaped and molded by abuse and cruelty? These are the demons, you see. All brought about through the union of perversion and desire, purveyors of death, monsters living and breathing right under our noses in a place what most can't even imagine. First, the dragon, the grand dragon of the white knights of Mississippi, the agent and purveyor of death. His coven is called a clavern. These are his cohorts, his den, his Furies. Furies are specially chosen for the role and title, and they rejoice in it. Where he dwells, they dwell. They are servants to the dragon, to punish those who commit crimes against nature and against his will. His guards, his fixers, these are his harem, always brandishing torches and whips as they go about to terrorize. That was the old renditions that show the medieval mythical creatures as female. But this is just to hide their true identity. They are men. But still, the dragon's bitches to do with as he pleases, and he does. To them, this elected position matters above everything else. And they act to show their loyalty, to gain entrance, is human sacrifice. And in this victim's case, according to the wounds, what they considered sacrifice is letting 3 brothers go after one. It was required. A small part of a greater ritual, not sophisticated or even planned, but the only way in. And that was what he wanted. He wanted in. Entrance into the circle and service to the dragon, because he, the devil himself, the dragon, cannot ever be found guilty of or tied to anything. But as the curtain is pulled back, it is revealed that all brothers and not participated in this initiation in one form or another. But for the others, his furies, it was their dream. So I'll pause right there and say, if you go into the video description, you can donate and you can give. If you don't use Cashap, if you sign up for Cashap, I'll get $5 and you'll get $5. So if we all did that, you'd be doubling your gift to me. That's Cashap. That's on their app. It says that. I haven't looked at it in a long time. I think it's still there. I don't know. But if you want to use Cash App, you can. If you want to use Zelle, just use my email. It's in there. And if you want to use that PayPal link, please do. Let's get back to it. Oh, and by the way, if you suffer with restless leg syndrome, if you suffer with Charlie horses at night, it's called nocturnal leg cramps. If you suffer from neuropathy, shingles, infections in the mouth, if you weren't here in the earlier times, I have developed something that will completely take care of that. And I guarantee it. That if you suffer from restless leg syndrome, after drinking my concoction that you mix, or you can get capsules if you want, that within minutes, your restless leg syndrome will be gone and you will sleep through the night. And there's many people on this that are usually here that have used it and still use it. So if you would like that, in a way you could give to me, if you would like some of that, it's $27. And when I send it, I'll send it with information. I don't have time to give it right now. But $27, and whatever you pay on, make sure I get your email and your address, because we got to get it to you. So that's shipping and handling. That's everything. You'll see. We got to keep the costs as low as possible. Inflation has doubled. I'm not going to charge $50 for this stuff. But it's worth it. Your life will change. If you're kept up all night or can't sleep because of restless leg syndrome or leg cramps, I get horrible Charlie horses. I live with them when I'm not taking this. If you have problems peeing at night, it's because your prostate is spasming. The product is called Spasm Free. I'm the only one in the world that knows what causes restless leg syndrome. So that's why I'm the only one that can stop it. It is lack of oxygen. And just like you have voluntary and involuntary muscles that you can control and you can't control, right? And when you yawn, you can't control that because your brain is starving for oxygen. Restless leg syndrome is your muscles yawning and starving for oxygen. Spasm Free. If you would like it, $27, and I'll mail it off to you. I might have to raise the prices later, but I've stopped doing it, but I'm back to it. And we're not going to advertise or anything like that. So not right now. It's coming. It's coming, but I got to take care of some things first. So back to it. But as the curtain is pulled back, it is revealed that all brothers are not participated in the initiation in one form or another. But for the others, his furies, it was their dream. All the signs of this being part of a ritual are there. Killing that boy gave one of them the right to be there that night. Lights out, and it just keeps coming and coming, harder and harder. Shit. Not even getting his head beat in by a nigger bigger than him would do that. But it weren't no Negro, as they called them. No human did this. But that's what they said. The defense is trying to say they were just street boxing. There were 3 of them and 1 of him. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, a matter is established. However, you don't box with your feet, so that one ain't going to fly. The defense is also trying to say it's just a case of wrong place at the wrong time and for a lesser charge. Just 1 life sentence rather than 2, they said. And we'll get him in an appeal. They even tried the insanity angle to save this guy's ass, but they didn't work. That didn't work either. It's ironic. The bad guy never sees himself as the bad guy. In his mind, he believes what he does is good. All in the name of loyalty to an idea. And even more ironic still is just how far a man will go to have his name etched in the historical record of jackasses. Even go as far as killing to prove his loyalty to some brotherhood that hides in obscurity. What are the odds? Real monsters, and not unlike some collegiate fraternal tomfoolery. It's undeniable. The evidence speaks for itself. A double murder. Same night, same place. 2 brothers, 2 women. A white woman and a black man. Empire, realms, squires, wizards, and even a cyclops. Yeah, right here in the state of Mississippi. Like some medieval play with torches and hoods and robes. But this ain't no play. The dragon is known in town, and he is untouchable, you see? You want to know where monsters come from? That's easy. Right here. In 1964, Freedom Summer, in Mississippi, when 1 man will die tonight for the many on both sides. So here we are. And it just so happens the most prominent lawyer in town is the prosecutor. He comes from a long line of brothers and has the ear of the judge. Word on the street is this perp's walking for show. But this time, unlike every other time, there is a girl involved. Mississippi was turned upside down, all because of one boy's choice between 2 women. Oh, Jeffrey, that's awesome. Ah, ha, ha. Cool. Cool. You got land. Cool. You like that, Norman? Awesome. Oh, cool. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, man, I've got a really beautiful guitar that Yolanda Summers gave to me. Beautiful guild. Beautiful guild. Shelly Green, Spasm Free is what it's called. And we have it comes in powder, which is if you've got restless leg syndrome bad, right? Or if you've got nocturnal leg cramps really bad, you got to go with the powder first because that's going to attack, it's going to shoot oxygen into your cells the fastest. And it's going to clean your ass out. Sorry to say ass, but that's what's going to happen. It is the equivalent of hydrogen peroxide that you would drink, but it's not that at all. Not that at all. When I send it, you'll see. But I don't want to talk about it here. I can say things. There's no cure for this stuff. It controls herpes. If you feel like you're about to have an outbreak on your lip or your private parts, you drink this, and they say that it lasts just a few days or even doesn't come out at all. And then if you drink it on a regular basis, it doesn't come out at all. Same with shingles. Same neuropathy. I've watched men with neuropathy in their hands, like their hands straighten out, and the pain is gone. Right, it's gone. I went to a man's house. I had heard that he had a problem, and I got to his house. In fact, he used to play for the Saints. He was bent over like this. I mean, like long time ago. He was like very much overweight, uh, not in good health at all, just in pain all the time. And so I said, okay. I brought it to him. I had to ask him some medical things just to talk to him about it. And are we still with me? You still with me? I see everyone's left, but that's okay. We got about 6 of us in there. But I watched this man straighten up within minutes. I can't say who has lied to you. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to lose the platform. Because I still have the opportunity to get this to you. We have a daytime version, which is energy like you would not believe. It's called Tiger X. And man, you just would not believe what this stuff is like. It's good. Really good. I even claim it makes me see better for a little while. Only for a few hours. It's all natural, not a single drug in anything, anywhere. It has magnesium glycinate in it, for one, which, if you think that you're taking magnesium, you're just being scammed off of magnesium vitamins. Yeah, if it's not glycinate, you're just getting the shell of it. And if it's citrate, you're getting the fiber of it. And that's it. But there's a reason why it makes you go if you get the citrate, because it's hot. It's hot. And but the glycinate, the reason why you've got a lot of your problems is you're not able to, your body probably isn't handling oxygen normally anymore. If you're over there in Mississippi, I'm in St. Charles Parish. We're in Cancer Alley. You know, I've grown up with Roundup in my house around me all the time. And glycinate is the one thing in a Roundup that is deadly. It replaces the glycine in you. And magnesium glycinate is a way to replace that. But it works together with all the other things. And so it took me 25 years to create. I was my own guinea pig, and then I started using other people. And then when we went public, great interest. We had some problems on the backside. And then Hurricane was the one that hit us. Ida hit us, and it put me out. So, but we're coming back. We're just smaller. Going in and out. Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that. Is that better? Is that better? Hopefully it's not going out now. I mean, I would get away from it. You know, maybe that was why. Apologize. So that's cool, Jeffrey, that you got land on the Pearl. Shelly Green, yes, spasm free. Yeah, if you have problems urinating at night, it's because your prostate is spasming. Sitting down, wearing tight pants, a wallet. You know, from the waist down, you are starving for oxygen. And just like your brain, when it needs oxygen, it's doing that. When you yawn, it is gulping oxygen. A magic gulping. Your muscles are doing the same thing. That's why it feels restless. My restless legs syndrome was so bad, it was like popcorn. No kidding. You could look at some places of my legs and see it. Remember, I had a traumatic brain injury. My head went through a windshield, and I was on a bicycle. They ran over me. I went over them. They hit me, and I went to the windshield. Yeah. had a little brain fart. Oh, Norman Smith, great read, cool. Yeah. So let's get over here to God's word. Enough of my words. Are we all good? We good? I think I gotta go let my dog out. I'll be right back. If you would like to give, please consider. There's many ways in the video description, and Jeffrey, my email's in there. Just email me and I'll give you my number. We can hook up. All right, I'm gonna just go let them in. I'll be right back. I might have to get another brownie. Woo! That's what I'm talking about right there. Hey, Jeffrey, you still here? Are you still in here? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you. Thank you. Jeffrey, are you still in here? One thing though is, I hang out with people when they find out I'm not sold out for Trump, they get all upset. Doesn't matter, I'm not voting. I'm glad Jeffrey liked it. Awesome, awesome. We'll do this still. We'll leave it up there. Yeah. While I eat. I'm not in that big of a hurry. Bit my lip. I bit my lip. One second. If you want, I can stop, but I want to get going. Keep going. You know how you can make a person happy? Eat the food they make. Yeah. I have a wonderful son. So blessed. Tell you how we have been hurt. I mean, I am dead serious. I've been in hell. Who's Devin? Anyway, we've been looking at Genesis 1 through 3 and Matthew 5 through 7. And they are so related. And it may not be because of any clever writing, but because these are Jewish people. And their Messiah is there, the one that they've been waiting for. And he's doing exactly what the prophets said he would do. And so he is fulfilling the Old Testament, which started in Genesis. You know what I mean? And so all these people that he is speaking to, these 5,000, they are poor in spirit. They couldn't afford anything. They couldn't bring any sacrifice to atone for their sins. They were bankrupt, right? They were bankrupt. And so he outlines this really beautiful, easy way to get into the kingdom. Oh, Carlos says, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Yep. Oh, Pat. So are you on both phones? I'm helping the views. So that means we're only 4. That's fine. Jeffrey, cool. Yeah. So I wanted to tell Jeffrey this. I was in Picayune and Carrier every other weekend growing up. We got our baths in Bowley Creek when we were there. We took the soap and we had fun and played for hours, but at the end, that was our bath, and we got in the car, and that was it. We went to bed when we went back to Granny Elvies. Cool. So all of the roads, the streets, the creeks, the rivers, it's a historical novel. The location of the main character's house is on the big property that I was on. Awesome, Jeffrey. Awesome. It is the only thing that matters. Oh, you're writing an email. Awesome. So, in the beginning of the Beatitudes, I don't think we disagree at all on being sold out to Jesus is the only thing that matters. Only thing that matters. I'm a Christian author, and every novel has the gospel in it. And this one has a clear presentation in a church, but it is the only light in the entire Bible. Entire book. My book is revealing the most horrible things that happened in 1964, and yeah, a big part of this novel for me is that a lot of white people died helping black people, and we don't ever talk about them. We don't even really talk about who started the civil rights movement. We didn't get in. Most people don't know, and they think that it started with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. No, that's way later. They were way later. They came into it, and in fact, I believe King's Nobel Peace Prize was given as a payoff to quieten the rioting down. I've always wanted to write a book, like Obama's book, The Audacity of Hope. Oh, please, please. Well, I wanted to write one called The Crucifixion of Hope. Every leader that pops up, they kill. Unless he's doing what they want him to do. If he's still alive and doing what he does, they're letting him do it. They let him do it. Bottom line. Jeffrey, I used to have a call in. I don't anymore. Couldn't afford it anymore. We were two income family, and then all of a sudden, bam! I got a broken shoulder. My hip is messed up, and so I'm the lame horse. I never thought this lady studied the Bible constantly. And then you'll say, well, then, Shawn, you must have been a son of a bitch to live with. But I got a consultation, and the lawyer said, so if you're so bad, she left her son with a bad man? And I went, whoa, you're right. You're right. That's it. Just didn't want it anymore. Crazy. So, as we discussed in Genesis, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The heavens, this is where God is. Here, the heavens, in the air, all around us. And He's omnipresent. He's everywhere at all times. He's omnipotent, omnipotent. He's all powerful and has all powers. Omniscience. He knows all. And he is immutable, meaning that he cannot change. That right there is the law that holds theology together, is that God cannot contradict himself, that he must keep his word. And Jeffrey, that's funny. All those creeks are real. Everything is accurate on a map. You could find it all on the map. You would see all the tributaries that come out of Pearl River that go up into that area of Mississippi. You could see the feeders that came off of Bowley Creek. And I am developing a story of drug trafficking and using those waterways. Yeah. You never thought of that, did you? Pearl River. It's the boundary, a legally recognized boundary between Mississippi and Louisiana, or hell itself in paradise, according to my book, because that's where the dragon is. The green dragon of the KKK. Wouldn't it be crazy if your wife was my cousin? What's her name? Oh, no. I know that they are not in the Gulf Coast area. So anyway, the kingdom of heaven is wherever God is on the earth. Wherever God is on the earth. Oh, that's just putting it up there. I see. I'm playing with it. See, playing with the hearts. Those people are doing while they're talking there. When they just keep doing that. Yeah, everybody loves me. Look, everybody. Yay, yay, yay. There it is. I know it's stupid. I'm retarded. I'm tired. I'm tired of everything. You know. But I'm hopeful and I am pressing on and persevering. But I will tell you that life sucks. Life is not your friend. Life is not your friend. And as the Beatitudes show, that not only is it not your friend, but any time that you sin against life, that it is going to demand you pay for it. And that you will pay. You know, you can't get out of it. That is that if someone sues you on the way there, you run into them, give them your coat and all, so they don't hand you over to the court, be thrown in prison. Appeal to the judge so he doesn't take you out. These are very shrewd things. I mean, don't you? I have said and gotten in a lot of heat. Got a lot of heat for it. Jesus was not a nice man. He was a loving man. Yeah, Jeffrey says, have you seen the video of the person saying that Jesse Jackson was the Judas that got Martin Luther King killed? Yeah, I have. I know so much about what happened at that time. And most black people have no idea that these Black Panther people were working for the CIA, infiltrating them, getting money and drugs. You're not saying that our government would give people drugs, do you? Are you? Please. You know, what side are you on? Because if you're not on the Lord's side, you're on the enemy's side. You're on either one side or the other. It is that clear today, isn't it? It's that clear. Um, uh, there is no mistaking who you are by what you wear and what you talk about. Just like specific words. I will know. You will know. If I'm in a shopping center wearing a mask, you know all you need to know about me. You know everything about me. If you've got a banner on Facebook that says get your vaccine, I got mine, I know that you are stupid. I'm probably going to get banned for that. Watch. We know this. Oh, but I had to get it. I had to do it to keep my job. Yeah. Wow. You must really love to work. Love your job. You would risk. So the jabs of 50 years ago, even 23 years ago, are totally different than they are now. I see young parents. A lot of parents that just blindly got their kids the thing. Unbelievable. So anyway, Jesus is clearly demonstrating that he is there to restore the earth back to its original position. In fact, wherever he is and was, the kingdom was. When he said the kingdom is at hand, these are Greek words that mean able to touch, to verify by contact. I've had COVID several times, and let me tell you, spasm-free works for that. If you got a bad headache, spasm-free works for migraines. You're getting oxygen. Bad headaches works. The achiness of COVID, spasm-free works. It'll blow you away. You got to mix it with hot water. It's awesome. Jeffrey says, my wife's cousin-in-law was in a band that was named after Bowley Creek. That's cool. Really cool. I almost, I changed the name of the novel. It's always been Sleep Swimming, but it was like Mississippi Moon, Sleep Swimming, Moon in the Mist, Sleep Swimming. And then I finally came up, I almost called it Little Hell Creek. Sleep Swimming. Now, it's all about Bowley Creek. But since it's about the trafficking of goods through these tributaries, I just said let's call it the Ways of Water. It sounds kind of new agey at the same time too. Which one, Shelley? My book or Spasm Free? Spasm Free, you $27 on either of the platforms you want to use. If you sign up if you do it through Cashap, I think you'll get $5, and so will I if you use my email. And then if you buy it through there, you'd actually be getting some off. Folks, if you would sign up for Cashap, if all 6 people did it right now and gave a little bit to me, just give something, or somebody else. But if you sign up using my name that's in there, we'll both get $5. No, it's not a lot, but shoot, if I had 200 people do it, that's a good money. Yeah, Jeffrey says that video about JJ was not from a white person. Yeah. So back to this, like that Jesus wasn't a nice man. He was a loving man. Niceties, catering to, nice. No. And he's given them this really great spiritual and easy way into the kingdom, but then he dashes their hopes by telling them things like, you have to be, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees, you cannot and will not see the kingdom. Well, they thought that they were the most holy people. They got to bring their sacrifices all the time. They could afford it. They wore the long gowns and threw their money. Yeah, Shelley Green, Cashap is in the video description. Just make sure that in the notes you leave your address and your phone number and your email. So then, Jesus is there not telling you how to be perfect. He's there telling you that you're not perfect and that you need the gospel. He's sharing the gospel. And multiple times he says that he is the sacrifice, that he's going to be the payment, that he is their reward. And then after he says all this, and remember, this is about seeing God. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, or the gentle, they will be called sons of God. We are related to God. God is our biological father. We are children not born of a husband's will of the flesh, but born of God. We are new creatures. We're born again. And yeah, awesome, huh? Awesome. So now knowing that, then he says, what does he say? Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you now that you're in the kingdom. See? Or seek first his kingdom and his righteousness. And all these things, all the things that you need, all the things you want, everything needed more like. But sometimes want. Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you in that kingdom. Remember, what does Eden mean? The Garden of Eden is the garden of delights. Jesus Christ is the Garden of Eden. And he's telling us that we're in the garden of delights if we're in the kingdom. Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added. See? All this will be open to you. Ask and it will be given to you. You're in the kingdom. You're in the Garden of Eden, the Garden of Delights, and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be opened. That's how that should be read. Not commanding, but exaltation. Or what man is there among you who, when his son asks for a loaf, will he give him a stone? He's saying, you're a child of the king now. And you're in the Garden of Eden. Live like it. Or if he asks for a fish, he will not give him a snake, will he? If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give what is good to those who ask him? Don't worry about what you're going to eat. Worry about what you're going to clothe. See the lilies of the field, the birds of the air. They don't store. Yet Solomon in all his glory was not dressed as one of these. In everything, therefore, treat people the same way you want them to treat you. Whether they're being nice to you or not. Whether they're wearing a mask or not. Right? For this is the law and the prophets. Mercy. You got to show mercy. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. These are evidences of your inner man. He's a gate. Enter through the narrow gate, for the gate is wide, and the way is broad that leads to destruction, meaning all the sheep are going to get killed. And there are many who enter through it, and many people go there. For the gate is small, and the way is narrow that leads to life. He is that gate because he's laying in front of it to keep his sheep in. But inwardly, for the gate is small and the way is narrow that leads to life, and there are few who find it. You know, one thing that is absolutely clear from the Beatitudes is that Christianity is a secret religion. That it is not, you are not to be boisterous about it. Read the Beatitudes. Beware of the false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruit. Grapes are not gathered from thorn bushes, nor figs from thistles, are they? How you doing, James? Great. You will know them by their fruits. Grapes are not gathered from thorn bushes, nor figs from thistles, are they? That's just like the salt. If salt loses its saltiness, how can it become salty again? Only God can make it salty again. It's a rhetorical question. It's not a condemning question. Every good tree bears good fruit, but the bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot produce bad fruit, nor can a bad tree produce good fruit. Every tree, we're dealing with the tree. See, back in the garden. We're back in the garden, the tree of good and evil. These are allusions to that. A good tree cannot produce bad fruit, nor can a bad tree produce good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down. It's worthless. And thrown into the fire. This is not hell. It's saying it's worthless. So then, you will know them by their fruits. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father who is in heaven will enter. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name cast out demons, in your name perform many miracles? They believe they are. They're not lying. They're not making up anything. They're not like faking it. They really think they are saved. And then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who practice lawlessness. Specifically the Pharisees and scribes. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and acts on them may be compared to a wise man who built his house on the rock. I don't have time to fool with it. Hey, it might be gone, in fact. Is it? It might be gone. I don't have any signal. I think we're going to have to cut it there. Sorry. Do I have a signal anymore? Doesn't look like it. Test. 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 There we go. We still have it. Yeah, I can't worry with that right now. I'll just try to keep my mouth right here. Where was I? Probably my fan. Probably the fan. So, everyone who hears these words of mine and acts on them may be compared to a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and slammed against that house. And yet it did not fall, for it had been founded on the rock. Man, your ability to tolerate storms and people is evidence of the maturity of you spiritually. If you're spiritually mature, like the greater your tolerance, the greater your spirituality. We're not talking about government tolerance. We're talking about something that's bugging you, picking at you. Even if it's political stuff, but it's, Everyone who hears these words of mine and does not act on them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and slammed against that house, and it fell. And great was its fall. When Jesus had finished these words, the crowds were amazed at his teaching. It is awesome teaching. When you see, they understand what he's saying completely. They understand that he's saying that he's bringing the Garden of Eden back. That the New Jerusalem is here, he's saying. He's bringing the kingdom, and it's him. And they know this. They all know this. They understanding completely. When Jesus had finished these words, the crowds were amazed at his teaching, for he was teaching them as one having authority and not as their scribes. Scribes had to speak a certain way, couldn't even say the name of God. This guy comes along, and he's going for it. He's making claims that seem to line up perfectly with what they've all taught, but they just can't believe it's this and not some glorified king on a white horse. Follow me? Awesome. Well, hey, I'm going to let you go. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. And if you gave, thank you. Thank you, Yolanda, so much for that huge gift. Thank you. And if you haven't heard, I've been in hell for the last 2 days. 2 years, sorry. 2 years. 3 years, really. And that's where I was. And I tried to come back once, and I was still in hell. I'm not in hell anymore. I'm in a hard place, but it's not hell. So, all right, folks. I'll see you later. Thank you so much for being here tonight. You want spasm free.